Only 7 races remain in the 2023 Turkey Hill Truck Series, and we head to the Monster Mile. For the first time ever, we race at my home track here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. 50 laps around this mile-long racetrack in Dover, Delaware. It's the Nemours Children's Health 200, the 12th race of the season in the 2023 Turkey Hill Truck Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Dover Motor Speedway. We are here for the 12th race of the season. Only 7 races to go until we crown a champion, and this championship battle is going to get pretty tight, I feel like, at the end of today's race. Maybe not. Ludovic Charette there starting on the inside lane. Had some struggles as of late, but he's been able to hold on to his points lead coming into this event. We've got a lot of crazy races coming up, including this one. The first time the Turkey Hill Truck Series has ever been here to the Dover Motor Speedway. I figured, why not? It is my home racetrack. Might as well have all the stock car series come here. Joined alongside, guess who? Caleb Roach with the call of this race. And Caleb, you've been seeing the Rowdy Energy Pro Series. You've been running the Rowdy Energy Pro Series, and you ran the Grotto Pizza 150 the other day. What did you see from that race that we should think about today here in this one in the Turkey Hill Truck Series?
Yeah, Dover is definitely a very unique track, and will definitely throw a lot of challenges for these drivers with, of course, you got. So, drivers need to take care of their tires because the track can wear out tires pretty quickly. They also really need to watch out for that wall, as it can be pretty easy to slip up out of the groove and hit it. And then also, this is a track where the inside lane mainly reigns supreme, so you want to try to get down there as quickly as you possibly can, or else it might end up being a one-way ticket to the back of the field.
It definitely could be interesting to see how these guys maneuver this racetrack. The tire wear is very significant, and we will have a cycle of pit stops. About a 30-lap fuel run here today for these guys. And hey, it's the Monster Mile. Watch out for the Monster to be a little hungry today, as we always like to say here at Dover. We could see ourselves some wrecks. We haven't had a wreck in this series for a little while, actually. I do believe IRP was the last time we had a caution. Was that the race before Watkins Glen? I think it was. I can't remember. I can't even remember now. It's been so busy with work, I can't remember. We had no cautions last week at Pocono. Of course, Watkins Glen was caution-free. Who knows? Maybe we'll see another caution-free race here today in this 12th race of the season. In the point standings, we mentioned Ludovic Charette, your points leader, 28 points ahead of Bruno Diacomo right there. Thomas Troxel is 32 points behind. Watch out for Troxel. He's been having a lot of good runs as of late. Of course, he does start behind Ludovic Charette here today, but if he has another good run, he could definitely have a good opportunity at this championship. 55 behind is Nathan Stapleton in the 61. Joe Rutkowski and Andrew Williams, our last winner there, both 61 points behind. And then Nicholas Samedeo and Derek Hamill. They lock out the front row. They are 64 and 67 points behind, respectively. All these guys still have a good chance, especially if Ludovic Charette slips up a little bit. And we kind of saw that happen in the Cup Series this year with Drew Webb. And these guys, the ratings aren't as stacked as they were near the end of that season because we only got 18 races, so these guys are still a lot closer to each other than they were in the Cup Series as we get to the end of the season. Ludovic Charette is not safe at all, and he's got to be careful in these next 7 races. We'll go ahead and get these guys to roll off here from Dover. Like I mentioned, Derek Hamill and Nicholas Samedeo on the front row, a Grattan Autosport lockout for the front row. They've been having some good runs as of late. Only one win, though, and that came at Daytona at the beginning of the season with Derek. Rogel Dorn starts third. A great opportunity for Rogel, who ran very well here in the Cup Series back in April. He's at the inside of Logan Williams, the other Williams driver right there. Of course, Andrew got the win last weekend. Blaine Keys and the 5 of Laura Chung in row number 3. You got Trey Bartow and Roberto Crown Jr. in row 4. And I saw a race here in person with this guy, Andrew Miller, to the inside of Joe Rutkowski in row 5. Ludovic Charette, points leader, starts 6th. Bruno Diacomo not too far behind, but he is on the outside lane. There's Nathan Stapleton in the 61. Thomas Troxel starting deep in the field there as well. And Caleb, sorry about that, you're at 36. Who do you think is going to win, though? Derek Hamill, Samedeo on the front row. It'll be a good opportunity for one of those guys, I'd assume.
He's been fast all year, just hasn't had the luck. I'm going to go with that number 4 Chevrolet of Rogel Dorn to get it done today.
I'm sure he'd love to get it. Pace truck's down. Here we go. We're racing at the Monster Mile. It's the first state and the 12th race of the season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Green flag in the Nemours Children's Health 200. And lap 1 will be led by Derek Hamill. Bonus point towards the championship for him right there by Nicholas Samadillo. Closing right into his back bumper, and he had a good jump on that outside lane. Rogaldorn is in 3rd, and they got Blaine Keys and Logan Williams and Roberto Crown Jr. battling there for 4th. Barto right back in there. Good opportunity for Trey Barto to finally get his first win in a while. At least he won a couple races in the Sprint Series, but first win in the Truck Series in quite some time for Barto. And Samadillo still all over the back bumper of his teammate there for the race lead.
A great start from these two Grattan Motorsports cars. They're sitting 1-2 right now. Samadillo right on the back bumper of Derek Hamill right now, with Rogaldorn chilling in 3rd, trying to hang on to this top 2. But already the field's getting pretty spread out right now. As 2 leaders have a pretty good gap to Dorn. Dorn has a pretty good gap to the car in 4th, the one of
this Blaine Keys there.
One of Blaine Keys.
Blaine's had a solid season, 18th in points. Had a solid run last week at Pocono, and trying to rebound there for Team Velocistart. Good opportunity for him right there. Logan Williams as well, another one of those drivers who arguably should be running so much better than what he is, and here he is, 20th in points coming into this race. Of course, his brother won last week at Pocono. See where Andrew Williams is in this one. Didn't get a chance to see where he started. He's also starting deep in the field. Not a good starting position there for Andrew Williams in the 52 machine, and he was the winner last week. Nothing to be said for this weekend here at Dover. Of course, Pocono and Dover are about as different racetracks as you possibly can get. So 2 totally different types of racing, and even though this track is still a legal speedway, it races a lot like a short track, and we'll definitely see that come into play, especially with how hard it is to pass here. Of course, Derek Hamill almost won last week at Pocono. Led all the way to the end, but Andrew Williams passed him through turn 3 of the tricky triangle and couldn't hold on to the race victory. But he's got a great opportunity here today at Dover to get his 2nd win of the season.
For sure. I know he'd definitely like to have that after the bitter loss at Pocono. Starting to pull away a little bit from his teammate Nicholas Samadillo, so I think both of these trucks are pretty fast. I have to see how each truck reacts to the tires falling off, and be interesting to see how they get once we get later into this run.
And of course, once we get into the later part of the run, like I said, about a 30-lap fuel window for these guys here at Dover. They are going to be considerably slower into the corner. Of course, our tire fall off here, that'll be about 2 seconds off per lap. And we were 2 seconds off a lap at Pocono last week, but that track is 2.5 times the length of this one. So you can imagine the amount of fall off these guys get here at Dover. And it's going to be much harder to pass once you get to that point as well. Blaine Keys and Roberto Crown Jr. battling there for 5th. Laura Chung battling with Trey Barto. You got Igor Barreto here in the 13th. Great run for Dracoan Racing Enterprises. They've had a tough year here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, especially with their 2 drivers who have a lot of success in the series, especially Laura Chung, who won 4 times last year. She's in the top 10 right now with her teammate of Aaron Abel. John Andrews here battling with the 13 of Igor Barreto right there for 10th. Nathan Ormond is 12th. You got Rutkowski. And this is the interesting battle right here. Ludovic Charette, Bruno Diacomo. Diacomo 28 points behind coming into this race. You know, at this point, all Diacomo really needs is to finish ahead of Charette to continue having an opportunity after this championship. He's going to have a good opportunity at doing that, I feel like, here today. That 14 struggled at Pocono last week after starting up front. We got 3 wide, almost 3 wide, I should say, as Andrews continues to move up to the field. And meanwhile, up front, and Nicholas Samadillo closed in significantly on his teammate right there. He might have a shot right here, though. That 23 is reeling that 51 in.
Yeah, it's almost like they're... whichever truck's fastest is kind of oscillating between the two. Maybe one lap it's Samadillo, the other lap it's Derek Hamill. Almost they're kind of equalizing on speed here. They're both definitely pulling away from the 4 of Rogaldorn. But Samadillo maybe trying to look for... He's got a chance. He's got a pretty good run on Hamill.
He's not going to peek down this time. Of course, respecting his teammate right there. Something that Richard Cholos would have appreciated a couple weeks ago. I didn't get to see that race, but I heard about what happened. So you know, I haven't seen. I didn't get to see any playoff race. But hey, congratulations to Ryan Blaney. I lost a lot of brain cells watching the truck finale. I know I just said I didn't watch any races, but I did see the end of the truck race, and oh boy. We got a much better truck series going on here. That's just all I got to say. The 82 has gotten around, and once again, Ludovic Charette is slipping back And this is exactly what happened at Pocono last weekend. You know, Matt Tuck, we had him in the booth last week. He made an interesting point. Had a lot of short tracks earlier on in the season. A different type of ratings adjustment is needed to run well with those compared to the speedways, and I'm thinking that maybe, especially in Diacomo's case as well, because Diacomo struggled too, it might be the case for both these guys too. They may not just be tuned up as well on the speedways as they are on the short tracks. But next week we do go to an official short track in Iowa. That's going to be a fun race, and we still got Martinsville on the schedule. But you got to run well at all these tracks if you're going to have an opportunity at the championship. And right now, Ladovic is struggling, and that's not a good sign for the driver who's the points leader. All the way down in the 20th position now. Looks like Derek Hamill's held off Sam Medeo for now in that 51 machine. Of course, the cycle of pit stops will majorly shake this field up. The top four is still all on each other. Rogel Doran running third. A great run for Rogel. He's had a very tough season. 33rd in points. He hasn't even gotten a top 10 yet this season. He, along with Ethan Lewis, are the Ethan Lewis, Mike Knapp, and Sam Oskin. They're the only 4 drivers yet to receive a top 10 this year. Rogel, definitely the biggest surprise out of all of them, considering his teammate has won twice and has been fighting for this championship. And we saw how well Rogel did in the Cup Series this year. But I'm sure Rogel is happy about this one. As Sam Medeo's got a shot here to the inside for the race lead. Mr. Edge has it on Derek Hamill. You know, back in Season 3 of the Cup Series, Nicholas Samedeo won here at the Monster Mile. He's going to try to get another win here in Dover, Delaware. Couldn't hold on to the inside, though, and Hamill's going to hold on to the race lead.
Great stuff there from Hamill. Made the outside work. Got the run and got right back by Samedeo. Didn't really even give Samedeo a chance to clear him. But starting to get into that stage of the race where the tires are starting to get really worn. Closing in on 10 laps till the pit cycle. And you're really starting to see these guys slow down in the corners. And it's going to get a lot more difficult to pass as we do get closer to that pit cycle. But Samedeo
just as you're saying
got another run.
That was a solid run, not enough for the 23 to get around him. He's right on the back bumper, though, and I feel like this 23 is faster. It's just a little difficult to make the move here. Meanwhile, Logan Williams saw his brother win last week, and he was like, I want to do that. Up to 4th right now, trying to close in on Rogel Doran, and he's closing in on the leaders while doing so as well. So this 39 very much in contention. See where Thomas Troxel is, because Troxel is up there in the championship. And he's not running too well in this race. That's the interesting thing that we've seen. 32nd for Troxel right now. And then our last winner, Andrew Williams, also outside the top 30, or actually in the 30th position. So definitely some unique stuff going on right there. And then even, too, with Ladovic Charette falling behind. He's 21st right now. Diacomo up to 11th, though. That 82 is wired in pretty good, and that's a good opportunity for the 82 machine. Nathan Orman still in 12th. Good run for Nathan in this race.
I know Nathan definitely like a good run here today.
Oh, yeah. Hey, he's had some solid runs as of late. 17th in points. And I'm sure Angel Gutierrez is appreciative of what he's been able to do. He's been able to rack up some good runs. And, a little bit of tough luck at the beginning of the season. But they've been very consistent as of late, finishing inside the top 15 a lot of these races. So, good to see that out of this team. And this team, though, they're doing the best job possible. 1-2 here for Grattan Autosports. Still, they've been 1-2 this entire race, with Hamill leading every lap so far. But Nicholas Samedeo trying to close in and get around him, just can't quite do it. And I'm sure Samedeo would love to get some fresh tires on this machine and go after his teammate for this race win.
Definitely, and you can kind of really see now these tires are toast. They are crawling through the corners right now, but Logan Williams, he's not letting that stop him. He's right at the back bumper of Rogel Doran, maybe trying to find a way around him. I think Williams got a really, really fast car. Like you said,
you're right.
He's been reeling in all these guys ever since the green flag dropped, but we'll have to see if any of these guys behind the top 2 can maybe take advantage of the pit cycle.
Maybe do a shortcut, possibly. Now, I'm going to say this about Logan Williams. He's one of these drivers who struggles to run in a lot of these races, but then all of a sudden will put together a race that just defeats all odds based on what you've seen all season. He did that twice in the Cup Series last year. Of course, won at Nashville and then won the Southern 500. Won the last race of the season when the ratings were all stacked up. And he finished the points, I think, maybe even outside the top 20. Logan Williams has a very interesting style when it comes to racing here on the channel with these rating series, but all of a sudden, you just never know when he's going to have a good run, but when he is good, he is great. Hamill's going to lock up the extra bonus point towards the championship, and Hamill is still very much in contention for this title, 67 points behind, but so is his teammate Nicolas Samadio right there, who has been behind this 51 this entire race, just hasn't been able to get around him. We'll just have to see, though, if Samadio can do an undercut, or maybe even pass him right here. He was looking, but not enough of a run to the inside.
Oh, Samadio is definitely trying. He's looking for about any real estate he can get, but right now it's just not enough. Derek Hamill doing a great job of defending, but we are getting really close to those pit cycles. We'll have to see what everybody does.
Definitely. I don't know. Do you want to undercut? Because you're still going to have about 20. Oh, there we go. Of course. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I think he's going to clear him this time. Nicolas Samadio to the inside for the race lead. It never fails, does it? Never fails. So Samadio takes it. He is going to lead a lap right here. Lap 29. Got a new race leader, so a bonus point for Samadio as well. He won't get the most laps led in this race, however. Nicolas Samadio looking for his second win of the year on the channel. His first one came in IndyCar Chicagoland so far up to this point. Only unless you had something crazy go on in the Pro Series race that I don't know about. Closest finish of the year there, 2/100ths of a second. But he's going to come down right here. 21 laps to go, 20 to go when they cross the line, and everybody coming down. Actually, I think Logan Williams has already come down the pit lane, so watch out for that 39 to gain an advantage. It looks to me, we got Charette down already. Trey Bartow is down. There's Logan Williams in the 39 as well. Blaine Keys already came down the pit lane. Samadio and Hamill have to be careful right here.
Boy.
And that 23 is going to get held up by John Anders. Just a touch right there. The match is going to be a 4-tire stop for all these guys, considering the tire wear that we have seen so far in this race. Watch out, though, for Logan Williams, because that 39 is going to have a bit of an advantage. He had a clean entry into the pit lane and nobody in front of him when he came out. Samadio, it was close there with his teammate Derek Hamill, but he's going to significantly pull away from him. However, here comes the 39, and watch out for Logan Williams to take the race lead away. He's going to do it.
Got it.
So how about these Williams brothers looking to go back-to-back? Andrew won it last week. Logan looking to get it done this week. And if Logan Williams wins, I do believe that Evans-Ross Racing would be the first team for both of their drivers to win this season, or to have both of their drivers win a race this season. My understanding that we have yet to have, no, I'm wrong about that. Webb Racing Enterprises has already done that with Agar Barreto and Brian Webb. Look at that gap. And not only that, Blaine Keys also getting around Samadio, but here is the big kicker. We still got 18 laps to go. The tires are going to fall off, and a lot like what we saw last week at Pocono, I think we're going to see Samadio close in a little bit right here. However, I don't think it's going to be near as significant as it was at Pocono, but I don't know. We'll just have to see how it all shakes out. Samadio is 3.2 behind as Logan Williams. I feel like he's probably got this one in the bag unless something crazy happens here in these last 18 laps.
Yeah, Logan Williams definitely probably nailed the strategy. Only question is, can he hang on? Samadio is probably going to have to hustle if he wants to have a chance at this race win still, but another factor that could potentially come into play is, we see right in front of Logan Williams, could be lap traffic. So we got the 25 of Chris Reynolds.
The 39 is significantly faster, so we'll have to see if he gets held up by this 25 at all, and we've seen how difficult it is to make a pass here at Dover. And no gain for either of these guys at last lap. Logan is peaking on Reynolds, but still unable to get around him. And you can tell they are going so much faster through the corners than what they were before they came down the pit lane right there. This is one of those tracks where you notice it significantly. And I will say that is a change that I made on my own. But it does create some very fascinating racing here at the Monster Mile when the tire wear is as significant as it is. 15 laps to go here in the Nemours Children's Health 200. Logan Williams looking to pull it off here at the Monster Mile.
He's still stuck behind Chris Reynolds right now. It doesn't seem to be costing him too much. Blankeys is gaining a little bit, but definitely not enough if they do want to catch him within these 14 laps left in this race.
And they may need a caution in order for something to go their way here, because there is no gain being made for either of these drivers, including San Mateo, who does have those fresher tires by a lap, but that one lap might not be enough of a difference. It's not as large of a track as Pocono, and I think that may be why we're not seeing San Mateo get as much of an advantage. Rogaldorn to the inside of Derek Hamlin for fourth. You know, regardless of the fact it's going to be a win for this team, because they have yet to get a top 10 all season, looking to finish top 5 here at Dover. John Anders with a solid run. That's another driver who's had a really tough year. 26th in points. Versus teammate Sam Adoskin has struggled even more, but this team obviously went through a lot of turmoil at the beginning of the season. And John Anders, the pseudo-owner, the interim owner of this team, has been doing both the driver and owner ratings for these guys because of everything that went down at the beginning of the year. So, good run for John Anders. Great to see him have a solid run. Laura Chung's top 10. Agar Barreto, defending champion Sebastian Kukulon in the top 10 there. Aaron Abel in the 05. And you got the 72 there of Josh Williamson. Ludovic Charette rebounded very well. Up to 12th there for our points leader, and ahead of Bruno Diacomo, so he's looking to pull away from the 82 in the points. Joe Rutkowski there in 13th. Roberto Crown Jr., Brian Webb, Nathan Ormond, Philip Torres, Eric Monaco, Casey Nanico. Eric Drew was a lap down. Zachary Fitzwater, Avery Alford, Micah Knapp, Juan Rodriguez, Caleb Rose, Andrew Williams, Thomas Troxel still deep in the field there. There's Ethan Lewis in the 11. Trey Bartow with a tough pit stop. He's down in 28th. Bruno Diacomo down in 29th.
Yeah.
That is not good at all for him as he was trying to close in. Andrew Miller with a tough run here in this one. He's 30th. Oskin there in 31st, which is it's interesting he's struggling in this race because, remember, he won the Cup race here with you, with your team in the Sprint Series ride back in May. Not really a good run for him here. Shane Lake behind him there. Logan Williams lapping Stapleton there. Not a good run for Stapleton or Clifton or Chris Reynolds. However, now that Logan Williams has caught up to this lap traffic, that's brought Blaine Keys and Nicholas Samadeo into the mix here. If Samadeo can get around this one, that 23 might have a chance, but I don't know. They're also going to have to get around the lap traffic as well, and I just don't see it happening. Great run for Logan Williams here today at Dover.
Yeah, I think this is probably showing that he's got a really fast car, got a really great team behind him, and like you said, with Logan, there's always those runs that will just blow you out of the water, and I think this is definitely, undoubtedly, one of those runs.
On pace for another caution-free race here in the Truck Series. But hey, you know what? I dig it. I mean, after what we saw in the real-life Truck Series finale, ooh, not a good entry there for Logan, trying to get around Shane Lake. That's going to slow him up a bit. But Blaine Keys under 5 from San Mateo, and for second place, Nicholas is trying there. Not enough to get around him. They're running out of time. It's 5 laps to go here at the Monster Mile for Logan Williams. He's going to do it here on Shane Lake. Or he's going to try to, but that 88 holding tough on the outside. I think somebody blew up. It's Derek Hamill, who was running top 5. And, you know, this is something that played Gradden Autosport a lot in the Cup Series this past year, and we're seeing it right here, right now. Another blown engine. Mechanical issue there for this team. Of course, we're at the point of no return. If we were to get a caution, it would end the race.
That's unfortunate for Hamill, especially with the good run he was having, and especially with it happening with just inside 5 laps to go. That's gut-wrenching right there.
And Derek's going to fall in the points because of that. Logan's going to try again. It was a camshaft on Derek Hamill. If it weren't for the fact that Blaine Keys and Sam Mateo had to get around this lap traffic as well, I'd say they have a shot on Logan Williams, but that's not going to be the case, I don't feel like, because the gap is essentially staying the same. 2 laps to go this time by for the driver, the number 39. Of course, if something happens to Logan Williams, we've seen that happen in the past with other drivers who have led and dominated races. These two guys are in the catbird seat to possibly win the race. I mean, you gotta think that 39's got to be careful getting around Shane Lake right here. We haven't seen any contact in this race, but you know it ain't over till it's over. But it's only 1 lap to go here at Dover for Logan Williams. And then the Nemours Children's Health 200, 1 to go. Gonna try to get around Shane Lake again. This time he might have the advantage.
Shane Lake gonna hold his own on the outside. Logan's still trying to use the inside lane. I think he's gonna get him down the back straightaway, and just not enough time for those two behind him to catch him.
Not at all. Logan Williams, his brother won last week. This time he gets to go to victory lane. Logan Williams wins the Nemours 200 at Dover. And Blaine Keys will hold on to second. Sam Medea with the podium position. Top 5 for Rogel Dorn there. I'm sure he's happy about that after all that transpired a couple of weeks ago. Them losing his ride in the Cup Series, moving over to Hamill Racing Enterprises next year. For those guys there, I think he's going to have a good run in the Cup Series and finally got his mojo back. Top 5 for John Andrews as well after Hamill blew up. And it was Laura Chung, Igor Barreto, Sebastian Kukulon, Aaron Abel, and Josh Williamson rounding out the top 10. But Logan gets it done this time around. It was Andrew last week, it's Logan this week, and now both of the Williams brothers have gone to victory lane this season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. That was a fun race. Another caution-free race here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, but we always appreciate the caution-free races here, and Logan Williams appreciated it as well as he goes to victory lane in the Nemours 200. Take a look at the rest of the results, and Derek Hamill, who led the most laps in this race, going to finish dead last after a camshaft failure. That's a tough break for him there, and that's gonna hurt him in the long run of this championship, I would imagine.
For sure, yeah, like I said, that's gut-wrenching to happen to him, and that's gonna tank him pretty bad in the points, but yeah, that was a really great race. You know, Dover is one of those tracks that I personally think brings out the best in a lot of these drivers, and we definitely saw that today. Great showing from all these guys.
And especially Logan Williams, and Logan came into this race with only 1 top 5. He gets the race victory here today. But hey, Rogel Dorn came into this race with no top 10s, and he got a top 5 there. Another good run for John Andrews. You know, like I said, you know, it's this racetrack, and we saw it in the Cup Series, actually. It's not as conducive to ratings as some of the others, and we definitely get a lot more parity here than we do with some of the other speedways, and I think we kind of saw that here today. But our points leader, Ludovic Charette, finished 11th, Diacomo finished 25th, and Ludovic's going to pull away. Troxel also finished behind the 14, and it's looking better and better for Ludovic Charette with 6 races left to go. We got Iowa, Chicagoland, Martinsville, Las Vegas, Talladega, and Homestead. We got 3 mile-and-a-halfs. And we got Iowa, Martinsville, a couple of short tracks, and a super speedway. So, you know, it's a perfect balance, a perfect mix of it all. But if Ludovic can kind of keep that kind of run up going to the end of the season, he's going to easily win this championship and could possibly clinch it a race early if he gets lucky at Talladega. But that's the thing about Talladega being the penultimate race of the season. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining me, Caleb. Of course, check out the Rowdy Energy Pro Series here on AG, the channel. Caleb does that. He's doing an excellent job. And I'll also have Caleb in the booth, or hopefully have Caleb in the booth for the Thanksgiving 500, which you guys signed up for last night. That's less than 2 weeks from now. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. Next Friday night, we got ourselves the Casey's 200 from Iowa. That's going to be a lot of fun there for the 13th race of the season, and we'll see how it all goes down at Iowa Speedway. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Logan Williams for winning the Nemours 200 here at Dover. And on behalf of Caleb Rose, here are the point standings for the Turkey Hill Truck Series after 12 races, and I will see you guys later.